go ahead. We're going to record this to the cloud. So you guys forgive me. I am losing my voice slightly because in Sales Mastery, we were saying scripts out loud in front of 600 people. The music was on, the energy was high. It was absolutely craziness. So forgive me, I'm losing my voice a little bit. So I'm going to lean on you guys for some insight, for some thoughts and some dialogue as always. So the link is down below. If you know anybody that is trying to get in the room and they are not, yeah, hold on. I have to look at calendar. New link. Okay, we're gonna have to work all this out, but we're here. So I want to share some thoughts with you guys. I'm going to take us out on the field today because I read something today that I thought was super, super powerful. So I want to read this to you, and so stay with me. Don't speak negatively about yourself, even as a joke. Your body doesn't know the difference. Words are energy and cast spells. That's why it's called spelling. Change the way that you speak about yourself and you could change your life. What you are not changing, you are also choosing. And that hit me super, super hard. And let me say that last part one more time. What you are not changing, you are also choosing, right? And that was powerful because in Sales Mastery, we, Bill Pipes, the coach and the one that led that session, talked about Bruce Lee quite a bit. And I'll give you a quick example. So if anybody that was on Sales Mastery, let's share with everybody what we learned and how to put ourselves in instant state. So if you were at Sales Mastery with me, please take yourself off of mute, and Maria's ready. So every time we are in Sales Mastery, and we'll do this and we'll start working towards this as a team. Every time he said, Bruce Lee, what happened, Maria? Bruce Lee, ha! Bruce Lee, ha! It put us in an instant state, right? And so super excited to share that. When I heard that quote, it was just like the universe speaking to us. So you guys, I attended a mastermind this week and we attended Sales Mastery. So I want to go full tilt in some of the information, and I'm going to have you guys take some notes along the way. There's going to be key things that I want you guys to write down. There's also going to be key things that I'm going to encourage you to implement in your business right away. Here's what I love about going to sessions and seminars and trainings is that I want to come back and instantly implement. And I want to give a huge shout out to Eric, and I want to give a huge shout out to Maria. As soon as we got back the next day, people could have said, you know what, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to take the day off. I'm tired. I was in Vegas. I traveled. No, both of them, they got up, they delivered, and they did script role play in their respective offices. And so Maria, not even with the leadership title, she chose to lead that session. And it was great. The energy, the excitement. I'm here in the room. I'm looking at all of Eric's notes. So what he did, that he's pouring into you, what he learned. And you think about this, and we had the conversation the other day about lineage. Like the things that I've learned were passed down to my mentors, that were then passed to me, that I then passed to Eric's, that I then passed to Cynthia's, that I then passed to the team. And that's going to be your lineage as you grow in this business. Like, how are we giving the information and the things that we've learned to other people? So you guys, I want to shout out to Eric, shout out to, or Gabrielle and Gabrielle, shout out to Maria on instantly taking action and giving back to the team. You guys, we're going to be diving into Sales Mastery in the next couple months, and we're going to spend about 90 days on every single topic in this book. And so I'm very excited about that. So I want to ask a quick question to everybody. And I want to ask if I can have the permission this morning to just go a little further with everybody. Is that okay? Yes? Do I have that permission? And do I have the permission to ask of each of you to go a little further with me today? Can I ask that of you guys? Is that a yes? I need some reactions. I need something. Yes. Gabrielle, 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 Gabrielle. Can I have permission to go a little further? And can I ask you guys to go a little further with me today? All right. Thank you, Gabrielle. Thank you, Gabrielle. Thank you, Gabrielle. Thank you.
Hey, what's going on? Why is there so many Gabrielle hooks in the
I don't have the answer to that yet, but at the end of this session, me and Gabrielle will hop on Zoom. We'll figure this all out. However, you're here, whoever, whatever name you're here under. So I want to ask you guys a question, and this question has nothing to do about drugs, has nothing to do about alcohol. Okay, so there's a misinterpretation of this word sometimes, but You don't have to answer this question here, but what I want to do is I want to provoke some thought. And so perhaps you write this down, you come back to it. If you do feel open enough to sharing, then feel free to share, but I'm not asking you guys to share in this environment. So for context, but I wanted to talk to you about being sober in life. And like I said, this is not about alcohol. This is not about drugs. If that's a challenge for you, then face that. But that's not what the context of this conversation is. It's sober in life. And rather, when we look at our life is really about choice management, right? There's a lot of times that we can make better choices in our life and better to have a better outcome. We all know this, right? So I want to ask you guys, if you were to eliminate one thing in your life right now that is not serving you on any level, you know, has some type of negative impact on the way you behave, the way that you live your life, the way that you go about your daily routine, whatever that is. If you were to give up one thing, what would that be? And how would that make your life different over the next 90 days, 30 days? Like, how would that make a difference in your life? Because I heard this and I thought it was super, super powerful. And I already saw a hand up, so shout out, and I'll get over to you in a second. You can't beat me. You can't beat me. Only I can beat me. And I heard that and I thought that was super, super powerful. Because at the end of the day, you guys, nobody can fucking beat you. Nobody. And they said, don't compare yourself. Look at people. Yeah, obviously look at them for inspiration, but say, you know what? I'm the only one that can beat me. So I want you to look at your life and say, if I was to give up one thing, if I was to go sober from one thing, like I said, this is not about alcohol. This is not about drugs. That's your challenge, and get that under control. What I'm talking about, if there was one thing that you could face in your life right now to give up, to be sober from, what would that be? And what would the impact be on your life? And so I want you to write that down. But we did have a hand go up. Go ahead and take yourself off of mute. We did have a hand go up, and I appreciate that. I'm not asking you guys to participate on this question, rather provoke some thought, but go ahead and take yourself off of mute, Gabrielle, and let's hear from you. You put yourself back on mute. You took yourself off of mute, but then you took yourself off of mute. Sakia, was that you?
Oh, I don't know how my name said Gabrielle. That was me. The one thing.
No, Sakia, everyone's name says Gabrielle.
Oh.
Yeah, everyone's name. It's a glitch. We'll work through that. But you raised your hand, so let's turn the mic to you.
It'd be doubt. If one thing I can get rid of is just doubt, just doubting myself that some days and just not like it's not happening now, and some days I just have a doubt in my head, like it's not gonna work for you. You might just want to go to the 9 to 5, and I'd be like, yes, it is. You got to just keep going. If I could just be sober from the doubt, I would be more successful. My mind would be clear. I could focus, and I could just keep going in and just keep going hard. If I could just get rid of the doubt.
And I appreciate you, Sharon, and let's just give her some love and some light for actually opening up, and Sharon to be the first person to grab the mic. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to be straight up with every single person on this call. You want to get rid of doubt, take bigger action. You want to get rid of trepidation, take bigger action. And I know that I say this, and this word is going to come out of my mouth until I am blue in the face. The way that you get rid of that doubt is by taking that action, by doing the things. Because at the end of the day, we don't have all the answers. We don't have all the know-how of how to go about this business, but we're going to learn, and we're going to go through this, and we're going to experience this together. And I promise you, the people that are taking the biggest actions are the ones that are growing. So for you, that doubt is normal. We all have that in our life, but I want everyone to take a moment. And I want to get real with everybody. Like I said, I want the permission to go a little bit further today. I want everyone to stop and say, you know what? I want you to imagine yourself not in real estate right now. Like, imagine you're not a part of coaching. You don't come to the offices. You're not part of trainings, developmental courses. You don't get to see Eric. You don't get to see Cynthia. You don't get to come and be a part of this amazing environment. What's the alternative for you? Like you were just saying, Sakia, what is the alternative for you? Is it a 9 to 5? For me, that is incomprehensible. Okay, let me be real. That is incomprehensible. However, what is the insurance plan that you have for your business right now? Because we all have car insurance, unless you're riding dirty. We have some type of insurance on our home, insurance on our properties that we have, insurance on the items that we have. but what is the insurance plan on your business?
My hustle.
You're absolutely right. And so you have to look at your hustle, look at your action and say, you know what? Am I doing everything that I can to protect what means so much to me, right? Am I doing everything that I can to protect that? That's your insurance plan. And you guys, I got chills just talking about this. It's a key. Thank you for just being so vulnerable. Like the insurance plan in your business right now is your ability to put your action in place and be consistent. And even if it's imperfect, it's okay. Because my imperfect, consistent habits will outrun anybody. And that's how you have to look at it. That's your insurance. So your hustle and the things that you want to create. Imagine right now, tomorrow, this business didn't exist in your life. When I ask that question, does that kind of like, put some things into perspective? You guys, I love what I do. I love what I do. And I will put so much insurance around this because I will be damned if I'm going to go back to a 9 to 5. I will not go to a 9 to 5. I refuse to go back to a 9 to 5. So we put an insurance plan in place that protects the thing that we covet and love so much. And that insurance plan is your action. That's your daily activities, and that's your consistency. So does anybody else want to respond to that? I know I didn't ask for anybody to. I'm not going to push anybody to, but more be an internal journey for you guys. And the question was, if you're just hopping on right now, if there was one thing that you can do and go sober from in your life, once again, not about drugs, not about alcohol, but one thing that you can give up to give your life a completely different direction, what would that be? What would that be, right? If I can give up not going to the gym, right? If I can give up not eating something, right? And Eric talks about this a lot, and they talked about it the other day on stage, like choosing your fucking heart. Is it hard to quit smoking cigarettes? Absolutely. You know what's harder? Emphysema. That's way harder than quitting smoking cigarettes, trust me. You know what's hard? Quitting eating sugar. You know what's harder? Diabetes, right? That's harder, right? So you have to, and Eric says this perfectly all the time. You have to choose your heart. Keelan, you had your hand up, brother. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, appreciate you. I would give up sleep. And I know it sounds crazy, but like I want to wake up at like 4 a.m. every day, because I know, like, it's funny, like people don't realize, yeah, we all have the same amount of hours in the day, but not a lot of us use them all. And you see a lot of the wealthy, successful people, they get up at 4 a.m. because guess what? They just added an extra 3 hours to their life compared to you. You know what I mean? Like you're sleeping maybe until 8, 7, but if they're up at 4, they actually live more life than you do every single day. So they get ahead each and every single day. They get more and more ahead of you, and it just compiles and compounds, just like stocks, right? It's like when you're investing in stocks, those hours just compound. So I want to I got to get rid of this sleep.
I love that. How many people were at one time not an early riser? Please raise your hand if at one time you weren't an early bird, you weren't up, you weren't going to the gym, you weren't posting about it. Was there ever a time in your life where you were not an early riser? Okay, I'm going to be real with you guys. There was a time in my life where I was not the early riser. And Keelan, I'm glad you brought this up, because when I made that shift and I look back, man, here's the thing. Just the stillness of the morning. The house is quiet. You hear the birds chirping, you get your coffee, and you're able to truly just relax, reflect, write, read, watch the news, whatever it is. My favorite thing in the morning is to open up the window, sit there with a cup of coffee, and just reflect, right? Let that like cold breeze come in. So man, there's so much power in that early. I'm not saying you got to get up at 4 a.m. and hit the gym and run 2 miles. I'm not saying that. Run your race, as John Cheplack will say. But I'm saying, like, there's power in that morning. How many people, since they've become a morning person, have seen some changes in their life? Please raise your hand or give me a reaction below. Right, so small millimeter shifts, man, that will definitely make a huge impact. But before we go to the next section, guys, you know, we wanted to talk about being sober in your life and whatever that looks like for you. I wanted to go to 2 people this morning. I want to go to Maria, and I want to go to Eric. But Maria, Maria and about 15 of us were able to spend the last 3 days together in Las Vegas doing sales mastery. Now, a lot of times when you think of Vegas, you think about debauchery, you think about complete annihilation of your mind, body, and soul while you're there. However, for us, that experience was vastly different. I've never been in a room of 600 people that were doing so much intense work and grinding and committed to really becoming better. So Maria, I just want to hear from you, high level, really quick update from you. Like, what were some of your key takeaways from our time together in our time together in Las Vegas? Let's hear from you.
Well, good morning, everybody. I, like Elias, am losing my voice because of all of the practice. So my first thing, and it stuck with me and it keeps playing in my head, was that Bill was talking about, if Tom Brady and all of this, high level sports people can play a game, go back, watch the video, practice, go to training camp, and they're still winning like Super Bowls and all this high level accolade, why can't we? And that stuck with me because I have never been one to practice scripts. So for me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to put it in my schedule, even if it's for a half an hour or even 15 minutes, practice my scripts before I get on the phone. That was key because me personally, I would prefer to practice, hear myself speak it out loud, write it out several times so that it becomes a part of who I am, and then still go back and practice. And that's why it was super important for me to have our Sacramento team practice yesterday. And super excited. 7 people showed up. We had fun. We did Bruce Lee. We did all of that to create that energy. And every person that was there was like, I am so glad we're doing this. Because even for me, who's been in the business for a long time, we tend to get lazy. Okay. So we don't practice. We just think we got it. We know it. We just go in there and we wing it. We let our charisma do all the talking. But at the end of the day, we need that tipping point. And that tipping point is knowing your scripts enough that it's really like second nature. And then you could add your own flavor to it. But if you're just like, oh, hey, girl, I'm checking on you, which is not a word that we use, and you're trying to get referrals from your sphere and your past clients, you'll never get anywhere. I mean, that was one of our discussions yesterday, actually, was that, we're not working our sphere. Why? Because we don't know what to say. Because when that phone rings, your people be like, oh, here they go, calling me about a referral. So let's have a different dialogue, okay?
Yes. God, I love this. I love this. And I love how involved you were in the whole entire process. So you guys, really quick, we're going to take a quick break before I turn it over to Eric. I want to share this with you guys because it's really important. And I want to do this with you guys because I've already given you a precursor to it. So if you guys can, just stand up really quick with me. All right, just stand up with me really quick. If you guys are driving, then do this later. All right, so stretch it out really quick. I want everyone to get in their Street Fighter pose if you're going to fight somebody right now, okay? And when I say Bruce Lee, what I want to hear, everyone take themselves off of mute because I want some energy on this one. All right, so take yourselves off of mute so I can hear you. All right, when I say Bruce Lee, you say, ha, Bruce Lee. Right? We're gonna do this together, you guys. So, all right, you guys, look at Nicole Penland. Damn, Nicole Penland, she's got a shot to the right side of your face. Watch it. Okay. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Bruce Lee. 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee. Yes. All right, guys. Shake up the energy. We're gonna do
so many takeaways.
I'm in the barbershop doing this, bro.
Hey, we were at a restaurant. We had 15 of us in like this private room, and like the people in the rest of the restaurant are like,
What the hell?
But let me turn the mic over to Eric. Eric, key takeaways from our time in Vegas, my brother. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't care how many times we do that. That is so fun and it's so dorky. And I have like the entire SF office looking in here like, what the fuck is he doing? But anyways, good morning, everybody. It's very nice to see all your lovely faces this morning. This event was awesome. And it was awesome because it was all about like getting back to the basics, right? Like as Maria said, like just going over scripts. I've never been one for scripts, right? Because I'm not a scripty kind of guy. I'm not a, anyway, so yeah, I wasn't about it. But it was really cool to be in a room full of 600 agents, and you had dudes in there or people in there that were $100 million producers, all there to learn, just like I was there to learn. So I'm thinking, okay, if there's $100 million producers in this room here to learn, then I need to be doing what they're doing, right? So one of the cool things, I mean, there's so much takeaway, and I could probably talk for like 2 hours on all the takeaways that I had. But listen to me this, and I'm always telling all of you guys when whether on coaching or role play sessions, that it's all about follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, right? Check this stat out. One of the things that he said was agents that followed up that had at least 5 conversations on average earned 107,000 more than the agents that had less than 5 conversations. You guys hear that? 107,000 more for following up with someone 5 times. Okay, to me, that blew my mind. And it made me, I couldn't wait to get back home because I needed to start following up with my people, because I don't know, but I'm trying to make at least 107,000 extra. You feel me? Can I get a raise the hands? You guys gonna follow up with your people 5 times? That ain't shit. 5 times in 1 year, that ain't shit, right? Do your job. Another thing that really stood out to me was, as we talked about a lot, and as we read the book Atomic Habits, it says, you know, in order for you to establish a habit, it takes 90 days. Okay. And by design, that's why we made boot camp 90 days, blah, 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 blah. 90 days, 3 months. It, you know, it doesn't seem that long, but it is long when you're trying to, you know, do something that's really hard. And Dan Beer went up there, and one of the things that he said was, we have to choose one thing to master for the next 90 days. Right? Because it's like, we've all been to the gym, right? We get our gym membership. We go a few times a week for maybe a month, and then the month goes by, and then you start dropping off, and then you stop going, right? So right now, I feel like in my business, there's certain aspects where I feel like I have my visitor pass, and I don't have my permanent membership yet. So I'm challenging myself, and I want to say this out loud in front of all of you so you can keep me accountable. But for the next 90 days, I'm gonna exercise every day for the next 90 days, right? Whether it's going to the gym or jumping on my Peloton or going for a run or riding my bike or climbing some rock, whatever it is, so that I can, you know, propel myself to that next level, right? It's a mental game, and that really stood out to me. I want my permanent membership and not just a visitor pass. So whatever it is in your business, if you want to prospect, you know, for 90 days straight so that you can build that habit, I, you know, encourage that. And if you need someone to keep you accountable, I'm here for that as well. So anyway, so much to take away. I'm going to share my notes. In fact, I'll share all the notes that I took in a form of a link, and I'll drop it in the chat so you guys can look that over. And if you guys want to talk about anything on there that you don't understand, because my notes are kind of shitty, let me know, and I'd be happy to chat with you. But anyways, have a great day. I love you guys.
I absolutely love that. And you know, being in that room and hearing this, a lot of the things were not new to us, right? But a lot of it was a reminder of the things that we are not doing. And let's be real, some of us on the screen have a visitor pass, and you guys are looking for that lifetime membership, right? You have to earn that lifetime membership. And I'm so glad that you brought that up. You guys, on Sunday, I had the fortunate opportunity to go sit in a room in John Cheplack's living room with team leaders and producers from all throughout the country. In that one room, there was $8.6 billion of production in that one room. So it was great to be able to sit there, learn, break bread from all these people, with all these people. The one thing that kept on coming up was the message to the market right now. Right. And this is something that we're going to talk about until it is absolutely perfected. We are in a solution-based market, because let me ask a quick question. What is the sentiment of consumers right now in the marketplace? What do you think consumers are feeling right now? Anybody want to give some thoughts and some insight on what do you feel the sentiment of a consumer is right now in a shifting market? Fear? Yeah. Okay. That's an awkward time. Uncertainty, 100%. You guys, there's a lot of uncertainty in the market right now. And so are you able to give them a level of certainty through your communication? Are you answering questions, and are you debunking things that they don't know about because they're only watching headlines? You guys have to be those people right now that are known as the pure experts in the real estate space. Mind you, we're not loved in this industry from consumers. They look at us as sometimes like used car salespeople because some people have done a really bad job. You guys have to level up on your communication skills and level up on your expertise. So you guys have to ask yourself, how good of a communicator are you right now? Because if you are not working on your communication skills, you're missing a huge part and a huge opportunity for you to grow. You can get by, and a lot of people got by in pandemic, but in this new market, this is going to be a skill-based market. You have to make sure that you're masters at communication and masters at communicating as the market changes. Because agents right now that are able to perfect that message will be here in 2 years. And listen, there's people on the screen right now that will be the new kings and queens of the empire. There'll be new kings and queens in 2 years. There's also people in the industry right now that built their name through pandemic that will no longer be on the scene in 2 years from now, and I promise you that. Why? Because they were unable to adjust their messaging, they were unable to grow, and they didn't put their fucking ego aside, right? That's one thing they talked about in Sales Mastery, was throwing the ego out of the door and saying, you know what, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to succeed. And hold on, let me plug this in. So message to market is going to be super important in the coming months and in the coming years. Expertise will win right now. And so I want you to ask yourself, how well do you communicate? If you had to rank your communication skills right now with a consumer on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the absolute best, 1 being the absolute worst, where would you rank yourself? Be true with your answer, be transparent with that answer, and be vulnerable with that answer. Let's go to the whiteboard. So I was gonna write some things out, but it's actually written on the board here. If you're at Sales Mastery, don't answer this question. When we think about these 3 categories, I want you guys to tell me, what do you think the #1 most important factor is in your business? Prospecting, okay, presenting, or closing? Out of those 3, and if you're at Sales Mastery, please don't answer that. And if you were in this room yesterday, don't answer that question. Out of those 3 topics right there, prospecting, presenting, and closing, what do you think is the most important? And go ahead and give closing. Okay. All right. Cool. Closing. What else, you guys? Let's hear from you. Prospecting. Cool. Prospecting. What else, you guys? Anybody else? Closing. Okay. Cool. Cool. I love it. And you know what? Want to know what my answer was when that was posed in the room? It was prospecting, because I was like, oh, prospecting is going to cure everything. I'm going to get myself in front of people. Well, here's the thing. Prospecting is secondary, because if you don't have an ability to present at the highest level, it doesn't matter how many prospecting calls you make, because when that one person picks up, hi, Ilona. Yeah, I was calling you because the market, and I know that interest rate, and fuck, I'm a sandwich, right? So it's like, you made all the calls, you did all the action, but when somebody actually got in front of you, you froze because you didn't know exactly what to say. And you didn't know how to say it, and you didn't know when to say it. That's why right now communication skills are going to be so important. That's why getting back to the basics and going through scripts is going to be more important than ever. I don't want you to sound like a robot. Hi, thank you for calling. This is Chris Edwards. How are you? Thank you. Pause. Hi, how are you? Thank you. I don't want that to be who you are. But what I want you to be is, I want you to be fine-tuned with the way that you communicate. Because when you present at the highest level, you guys can walk into any scenario. And when you present at the highest level, when you prospect at the highest level, what is it going to make you? It's going to make you a better closer, because a better close is just a natural conclusion to everything that you covered throughout your presentation. So you want to be a great closer, be a great presenter. You want to be a great prospector, be a great presenter. So if you're not working on your presentation skills, buyer skills, listing skills, lead conversion skills, bar conversations to get a new client to talk to you when you're just out in public, those are things that you guys should be working on. Because right now, how many people can sit with a stranger and express and convey what is actually happening in our marketplace right now intelligently in a way that people can understand instantly? Raise your hand if you can spit that fire right now. And I love it. And if your hand's not up, then there's an opportunity for you for growth. I want to share something with you guys. There's 14,000 people in our lead pond right now. And please do this. Give me a reaction by some type of emoji for the reaction button below. How many people are making calls in the lead pond right now? Please just raise your hand. Okay, cool. So a couple of people, a few people. I see some of the newer folks on here. I don't know if you don't have your camera on. Once again, I don't know who you are because everyone's Gabrielle Hooks. So a few, maybe 5% of people. Well, I want to share this with you because this is really important for you to think about. There's 14,000 people in the lead pond that did this at one time. I'm curious about buying a home. 14,000 people raised their hand. So what happened is that 8 months ago, 10 months ago, those people may have been in a market that it didn't make sense for them. They were in a market that buyer fatigue was a real thing. The stress that it caused them going and looking at 70 homes and not getting anything, and the letdown when they had to go home, and then the fights that occurred between husband and wife because God, oh my God, this sucks. And no, babe, I don't want to spend $200,000 and liquidate all of my stocks because I'm using those for something else. And the frustration and the angst and the stress, right? Those people don't have it anymore. You guys have a chance to get back into the lead pond because those leads right now, I promise you, are the leads that we need to focus on. Eric, they said an analogy when we were in, or maybe Ernesto or Eric, one of you guys can chime in on this. 13 months it takes these leads to, on an average, to convert. So you guys have an opportunity to go back into the lead pond and start diving into these people. Because where was the market 13 months ago? It was the wild, wild west out here. It was the wild, wild west. Now you have an opportunity to walk in and let them know that this is a blue collar market. You have a chance. You have an opportunity. Yeah, you might be paying a 6.5%. However, you're not paying $300,000 over asking price in a house in Maxwell Park that's only 1,200 square feet. Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, have you totally given up on your dreams to become homeowners? If I could show you a way and I could show you how my strategies win to get your offer accepted in this new market, would you be open to having a conversation with me about that? You would, wouldn't you? Awesome. Let's schedule for a buyer's consultation. That's the new dialogue. That's the dialogue. So I want to encourage you guys to dive in and find those opportunities and know that your presentation skills are more important than they've ever been. How are you viewed? When you go to your doctor, are you sitting there questioning every single thing that your fucking doctor says to you? Ophelia, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. No, like most of us look at our doctors as experts. Most of us, if we get legal help or legal support, we look at them as experts. Do I go to my CPA and question every fucking line item? No, I give them everything and say, tell me what the end result is. What do I need to do? How do I set up my S Corp? Cool, I'm good. Thank you for your expertise. Are you providing that same level of expertise to consumers in this market? And if you're not, then up your game. Brainstorm with people. Say, Kaleem, I want to get together with you. Let's perfect our messaging. Chris, you've been in the game for a while. Let's perfect our strategies. Sandy Cruz, I want to get together with you, Nicole Penland. I want to talk about what's going on. Elena, you're brand new. Let me hear how the words come out of your mouth. Because if you can't spit fire to a consumer, why are they going to want to work with you? If you can't make a consumer feel safe, make them feel certain in this changing market, then you don't have a fighting chance. So let's work first off on our presentation skills in order to be better and serve the consumer better. That's where the messaging is right now. Summer of skill set, summer of change. This is where you guys are going to rise to the occasion. So I want you guys to understand that how you're viewed is super important. Doctors, CPAs, lawyers, understand the sentiment of consumers right now. They're living in uncertainty. I want to challenge you guys, and I want you guys to write this down. I would challenge you to get a collection of the most common buyer questions right now in the market across the United States, across California. What are the most common buyer questions right now? And I thought this was a really cool exercise. And what are the most common seller questions right now? What are their challenges and what are fears are they facing? Find those on Google, talk to your brothers and sisters, put it in Slack, wherever you find those. And then what you should do is should create videos. Hey guys, it's Elias Astuto. I'm going to share with you the #1 question over the last 30 days for buyers in the Bay Area. So, buyer asked this, what is the difference between my payment from 6 months ago, whatever the question is, and create video on that. Because I want someone to go to V's page and I want her to see like, damn, she is always in front of it. She's always answering questions. She sounds like an expert. She makes me feel safe and comfortable by just looking at her page. If you guys think people are going to your website, you're fucking delusional right now. People are going to your Instagram, they're going to your Facebook. They want to know who you are. People always say, I want a website. That's cool. Have your website just to have it on your business card, but nobody's going to that. People are going directly to the source. I want to go to Keelan's website and Keelan's Instagram, and I want to be like, who is he? How is he represented? What does he talk about? Does he have some knowledgeable videos? That's where people are going. So I want you to answer those questions for consumers. Another thing that I want you to write down, this is an action item. The things that I'm having you write down are action items, you guys. So video. We're not going to go too far into this, but I do want to give you guys some action items or actionable items. There's a guy. How many people, well, let me ask a question. How many of you would love to sell $100 million in real estate in 1 year? 1 year. $100 million in real estate in 1 year. Our company did $674 million in production last year. This one person, one agent, leveraging the team and the resources, did $100 million. And you know what he did? He was in 1 month, did 14 sides, and he worked, not on vacation, for 3 days out of the month. 3 days out of the month, the rest of the time he was on vacation for the entire month, and put 14 deals in the contract, 14. We know what he does, and it's really simple. He does Facebook videos that are surprise and delight moments. What I mean by that, if you guys are looking on Facebook, if you guys are seeing your friends and family and all the things that they're doing, all he does every single day, and then obviously he does more, but when he talking about video, he goes in and sends surprise and delight videos. What's up, Keelan? It's Elias, bro. It's been a while since I talked to you. I just want to send you this message and let you know I'm wishing you a happy birthday. Hopefully this lap around the sun is your best year ever. Much love to you and your family, bro. Eric, I just saw that you got back from vacation, bro. Tulum, I want to know all about Tulum. I just want to send you a message, let you know I see you, bro. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Sandy Cruz, hey, happy anniversary. 10 years, I can't believe it. Love you guys, love seeing your journey. So happy for you, and cheers to the next 10 years, right? He does that. He peruses Facebook and finds those opportunities to do surprise and delight moments. Does he care? Totally. He wants to let the people know that he cares, but he also is staying front of mind. So surprise and delight moments. We've talked about this before. Follow up. God, you guys, follow-up videos. What's up, Andrew? It's Elias. I know we spoke about 3 months ago and you told me that you wanted to put your home search on pause. Well, Andrew, things have changed dramatically in our market. I want to share with you some new thoughts that I had that can get you in a home and you have less competition and you have an opportunity to get a house for close, if not under asking price. Call me. I want to share what's going on with you right now in our market. Shit, cool. Yeah. All right, cool. At least I want to hear what Ernesto has to say. At least I want to hear what Sarah has to say. So follow up video campaigns, SOI videos, right? Chris, I just want to send you a video. Hopefully you're well. Hopefully the kids are doing well. I just want to touch base with you. Listen, you know, I build my business off of referrals. So do you know anybody that has had any conversations about buying or selling real estate? Because this is an ideal time. So if you know anybody, let me know. But hey, man, much love to you. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Kiss the babies and tell your wife I said hello. Like those are the types of videos that he's doing to his sphere, right? And then lastly is agent videos. Agent videos are the videos that you see someone out there balling, doing a great job. Yo, what's up, Carmen? It's Elias. I just want to tell you, I see you out there doing big things. I just want to let you know that I have a few buyers that are looking in the Maxwell Park area. I want to know what you got. I want to share with you what I have, and hopefully we can do a deal together in the coming months. Like, that's powerful, right? Like tell me what's in your bag. I'll show you what's in my bag, and maybe we can link the two up. A lot of people aren't doing that. what they're doing is they're introducing themselves when they finally have a buyer, and now they're competing with other people and they're not really standing out. So I want to encourage you guys to get really, really used to doing a cadence of these style of videos. Follow up or Facebook videos for surprise and delight, happy birthdays, special moments, follow-up videos, sphere of influence videos, and then lastly, your agent videos, because we have a huge opportunity here that not only are we building our referral network and building opportunities to find off-market listings and opportunities, but what you're also building is you're building an opportunity to invite someone into our culture, right? If you invite someone into our culture and then they join, then there's the downline play that we're not really even leaning into. So highly, highly recommend that you write that action item down and that you implement that in your business. Repetitious boredom. Ernesto, when I say repetitious boredom, what comes to mind from what we heard the other day? If you can speak to that, I know that it's 2 words that are going to provoke some thought, but repetitious boredom, my brother. And when you hear that, what do you remember from what we heard the other day?
When you say that, I think of a person. It's the same guy that you just mentioned who sells $100 million a year. And I was going to touch on the way he structures his day. And he tells everybody, including seller clients, when he's available, when he's not available. Repetitious boredom, he talked about like the things that he does are boring. Like they are boring, but he does them every single day. I think he's been role playing for like 15, 30 minutes every single morning for like 10 years. And he admits it is not fun. Like he does not enjoy it. He doesn't look forward to it, but it keeps him sharp. And he does it. So it's boring and he just keeps repeating it because he knows that over time it compounds and it keeps him sharp. Another person that came to mind, Rob Golfi. If you guys want to Google him, Rob Golfi is the top agent in Canada. He's already the best in his country at what he does. He has no reason to go to these self-improvement events. But same thing, like he, when somebody asked him what his secret to success was, he said podcasts, books, and these functions. They're not fun. They're boring. And he intentionally goes to them by himself. So these people that are already at the top of what they're doing, like they're just committed to the process, and it's boring and it's repetitive, but they just love it.
Man, I absolutely love that. Like repetitious boredom. You think the #1 agent in all of Canada, I don't know, help me out. How many provinces are there in Canada? There's 10 or 12 or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like in the whole entire country, #1. And he's sitting front row with us like this. We've taken the time to fully understand your goals and needs, the entire home buying process, the reality of today's market. I want to share with you what exactly we do to serve our clients and why so many buyers like you choose us to represent them in the home purchase. He was front row saying this, and he's the #1 in all of Canada. $100 million producer, front and center, going through his scripts, his dialogue, and he does it every single day. So, like Maria said, you might think, I don't need to come to training. I might not need to go to script role play. I don't need to go to that coaching session with Elias. Is there things that I say here that I've said before? 100%, 100%. I know that, but I'm going to do this because I believe in the repetition of it. And when Maria said that about Tom Brady, you know who's going to be at spring training this year? Tom Brady. You know who's going to be throwing the short passes, doing the footwork, doing the breath work, and doing the drills? Tom Brady. Something that was important to me that stood out, that champions don't run from accountability, they run towards accountability. They show up, they run towards accountability. Hey, coach, I need something. I need you to be a little bit more intense with me. I need you to call me out of my shit. I need to get involved. So, hey, call me out. Put me on the spot. Like, I need that accountability. Can you call me every Tuesday? Shake things up for me? Sure. So repetitious boredom. I absolutely love that. And we have to do the things that are monotonous. So good stuff. And Ernesto, I appreciate your vantage point on that. I want to go to Andrew really quick. Andrew, takeaways from you, my brother. When I say repetitious boredom, like what comes to mind?
Just doing the things and be comfortable with. I think what stood out to me was when I forget who it was. They said that. So basically going from like 100,000 to 1 million, basically it's just nothing that's groundbreaking. It's just doing that repetition and being comfortable with our repetitious boredom. because it's just doing what you need to do and just putting in that grind. And I think Brian Denny said that, and following up with what Hernosa said, is he schedules his schedule where he does his prospecting, his follow-up, and then he doesn't schedule any of his client appointments until after 12. And he tells his clients that hey, that I have time available for you after 12. If a buyer or seller says, hey, do you have time 10 a.m.? He's like, hey, I can meet with you at 1 or 2. Would that work instead? And very religiously sticks to that schedule. And I think he mentioned he lost clients out because of it, but it's because he's stuck to that, his expectations, and also doing that repetitious boredom and being so in order to be so successful.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. And here's the thing, you guys, and we mentioned this before, the easiest way for you to burn out is to not protect your energy. Because here's what happens for a lot of people is that they don't protect their time, their energy. It's, oh, you got to call. Oh my God, you want this 7th page on the disclosures explained to you? Let me hop on that right now. And so they're pulled in all these different directions, and they don't say no. And the phone call rings, and they don't say I'm out of office for 5 hours because I need to do admin work. And it's oh my God, everyone's pulling all the energy because they're giving it all away. And then what happens is that they feel burnt out because they don't know how to manage all of the energy that they're giving to the world. You guys are an energy management business. You guys need to manage your time and your energy because it's so important. Because what will happen is I feel stressed, I feel overwhelmed, and oh my God, and guess what? I'm going to go into a hole for a couple of days because I need to sleep, I need to recharge. If you protect that energy and you don't allow people to take that from you, then you are in control. And that's super, super important. Hey, there's times where I don't want to answer my phone. Will my business still succeed? Absolutely. Brian Denny does $100 million in business. He says, I will not take a client call until after 12 o'clock. There's times where I'm at home with my family. I will not take a client call. It's okay to set standards and boundaries and protect your energy, because if you don't, it will lead to burnout. And when you're burned out, it's going to cause stress. And when you're stressed, guess what? It affects your health. Your guys' health and your minds are more important to me than any 10, 20, 30 transactions. Because if Keelan is not 100% healthy and ready to go and his mind is protected, he's not going to sustain. He might be able to sell 20 deals, but he's not going to be able to sustain. So I want you guys to protect that, be cognizant of that. Be you know what, Sandy, that's a good question. Let me get back to you at 2 o'clock this afternoon, or I'm going to have my VA pull that and they're going to email it over to you. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll get back to you at 2 o'clock today. Cool. I've set some boundaries for myself. So before we wrap up, we have 5 more minutes. There was one thing that stood out, many things, excuse me. And I want to share this with you because it's prevalent in my life and it's going to be prevalent in all of our lives. The old version of you is always waiting around the corner. The person that wasn't disciplined, the person that didn't step up, the person that didn't push themselves, the person that didn't have the morning routine, the person that used to drink themselves into a freaking annihilation 5 times a week, right? The old version of you is always waiting around the corner. But if you're in these rooms and you're waking up, you're coming to coaching, you're here with your cute dogs, you're here with your family, your kids, it shows me that you're ready to grow. So I want you to say this: I will be around in 2 years. I will be a king, I will be a queen, and I will build my empire. But the only way that you're going to do that is by saying, you know what, my action will trump everything. There should never be a week to say, oh, yeah, I didn't make the calls, I didn't knock on the doors. Because here's the thing, let's look at the market. If I was to parachute any one of you into any market in the country and said, knock on 100 doors for 100 days, do you think you would win and be successful? I think so. 100 doors in 100 days, I promise you, you would find some level of success. I promise you, any market, anywhere in the world, if I parachuted Eric Canyon and said, hey, go knock on 100 doors for 100 days, I promise you, he would stand out and he would be successful. So it's not about the market, you guys. All it is about you choosing to take that consistent action. You guys, I will say those words until I'm blue in the face because it's shown up in my own business. Like I've been an action taker, but there was a time where I wasn't all about massive action. These are new things to me that I have just instilled in the way that I operate in business. And my hope is that I instill that into you guys and that you instill that into others, right? If there's someone struggling, say, oh, girl, I didn't make my calls. No, let's make calls together. I'll meet you at Pete's. Let's make the calls. I'll meet you in the office. Let's sit in the cube. Let's do what we got to do, because your kids, your family, your insurance is important. Your insurance plan is your action, your prospecting. So protect the thing that you love. Because how many people love this industry? Because I love it. I love this industry, and I don't see myself being anywhere else. But I have a protection plan, and it's you guys, and it's showing up, and it's delivering at the highest level. It's my insurance plan. So put yours into place if it doesn't exist. And remember that the old version of you is always waiting around the corner. I'm gonna go to 3 people here. I'll grab that. Someone mute that, please. Mute that or answer that. I did it, Carmen. So I want to go through 3 people and hear what your key takeaways are. First things first, let's give a round of applause to Eleni. She is brand new to the team. She just passed her license. Check this out. Check this out. Perseverance. And I'm gonna share this with you. 6 times she took the test. 6 times. 6 fucking times, you guys. Yeah. You know what? On 2, on 3, on 4, on 5. Oh my God, I am not doing this. I am doing something else. Still
kept going.
Kept going. So Eleni, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Welcome to the team. Let's hear your key takeaways from today's session together.
Oh gosh, it's a lot. Let me see. Definitely, I want to start creating more videos, especially like, just getting myself out there and just like, see, now I'm getting nervous. It's weird. Like in person, I'm not nervous at all, but like on camera, it's weird. Definitely, I like how you said like the sober thing, what's one thing that you can like change your life? It's not drugs or alcohol, but definitely like TV is like one thing. I can get distracted watching shows or movies instead of like working or like reading up on something else. That is something. Just kind of getting distracted with anything else in life. But I've noticed that if I just keep going, if I just keep telling myself, just work on it, just do it, you will get there. And that's what I kept doing with the exam. I thought I was never going to get through it. I thought I was going to keep failing over and over and over, but I showed up every time. I was like, I'm going to do this again. And now I'm here.
Eleni, the fact that you went through 6 times, let that be a recipe for your success in real estate.
Yeah.
I mean, it is hard. You're going to keep going. You're going to persevere. And you're going to tap into that person that you had to become in order to pull you through all that thick shit. Because I promise you, there was times that you didn't want to keep going, right?
No, honestly, there was a couple weeks I just kind of gave myself, I was like, I don't really want to do this right now. I don't feel like studying. I don't feel like this. But then I woke up, was like, no, there's a reason why this, it's my passion. I want to do this. There's a reason why I chose this career, just kept going.
That's right. Well, congratulations to you. I think that if you were going to create a video, I think the number 1 first video that you should share is that what it takes to persevere, what you went through, what you were going through emotionally, how you fought through that, then what's on the other end of this and how you're going to succeed. Don't want to create video, choose to make video and choose to share your story with the world, because it's a story that needs to be heard. And if it's awkward and there's weird pauses and it's unfriendly, it's fucking K.
It's me.
Be perfectly imperfect as long as it's you. But I want to congratulate you and say thank you for being here. And thank you for choosing our team to support your dreams. Let's go over to Ophelia. Ophelia, I'm going to have you wrap up the session. Key takeaways from today, and tell me, just have you take us off the field. So key takeaways from you today.
Key takeaways is definitely just what she had mentioned, is what can you give up? I think that's what she mentioned. Well, anyways, I wrote it down. I said, what is something I can become sober aside from, like you said, any drugs or alcohol? And it was really a thought-provoking question, because I'm really questioning myself and then the, I forgot her name. She said doubt. And I said, that's good. That's profound, but it goes deeper. Okay, what else is that? So it really was good. Now, the reason there's distractions too is because at times you try to run away from these things. You're avoiding confrontation of what's really right there and present. You start procrastinating because you don't want to do it. And so why are you procrastinating? what is the underlying factor? And so all this has been going on, and that's all that's been like in my mind, like, okay, what's happening? What's the root of all this? So I love all this. It's been so profound. I'm so glad you're back. I forgot who said it too, that you weren't here on Wednesday. Yeah, I totally miss it. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. I love coming in here to get pumped up and get going. So.
Well, I appreciate you guys, and let it be about action, right? Let it be about action, not just inspiration. Like I want to be here to be a support pillar for you guys, but I want to lead. If I inspire you, but you don't take action, then I have not done my job. I've not done my job, right? If we think about KPIs, key performance indicators, my job is to inspire people to take action. And if I'm not hitting my KPI, then I'm not living up to my expectations as a leader. So you guys, before we head out, really quick, Bruce Lee. I gotta hear it. I gotta hear it. Let's take everyone off of mute really quick before we head out. Everyone off of mute. Bruce Lee.
Oh, you're so Barbara.
We'll work on that. We'll get better at that, you guys. I appreciate you. Nothing but love, light, respect for each of you. Go out there, take one thing that you learned from today and go and create and go and take action. And if you create a video today, tag me in it. I'd love to share that with the world, you guys. I appreciate you more than you will ever know. Have a wonderful day. Peace.
Bye.